Sergei Semyonov called this stage a pre-launch stage, and he did not do it accidentally. Everything changes very dynamically. Yesterday, for example, we changed something that we thought would not be changed for a couple of months. This is due to the technical features of Nova 2. We call this apparatus an airship. It is an airship that will be built by the end of this year with a volume of 2,000 cubic meters. And of course, it has its general appearance, the various technical solutions that we applied. And after the new year, everyone rested well. And yesterday they came back and said, why do it that way? No. For example, before the new year, we talked to a number of interested clients, customers who have been working on the possibility of using airships in their business for quite a long time. And we also talked to previous companies that were engaged in this. They have the materials. They say, if you are building airships, we need this one specifically. We're like, yes, okay, we need to adjust the development program. Anyway, we're now finalizing the adjusted presentation. It is already more or less crystallizing to the form in which it will be. Well, in simple words, they want to carry cargo from China in containers here in Russia, in the central part, closer to Moscow. And the cargoes are kind of fractionalized. There is an understanding of their average density by volume. There is an understanding of the cost that they're willing to pay. The company has already developed containers on its own. So we're working with them. There are others who need to participate in the construction of infrastructure facilities, which are quite long and extended. Somewhere in the middle, in the geographical middle of the country, they need to carry supports. The supports also have their weight, dimensions, attachment points, and so on. And from a technical point of view, the company itself, it is a design company, has already worked out everything and has a full understanding of what the devices should be there. And we also took this into account, of course. Tourism too. Again, we are working out possible solutions. There is a request closer to the geographical center of our country. The tourist flow is growing exponentially. Of course, there are sanctions and you can't leave the country that much, but the country itself is beautiful as well and the politics are changing. So the tourist flow is growing. The demand is incredible. And so our commercial department, which is headed by Viktor Morozov, communicates with the tourist customer, so to speak. Let's call it that way for now. He talks to them and he says, Fyodor, we could actually do all that crowd investing thing for that only, because the demand for the service itself, for the tourist service, is crazy. It's like Germans. They are paying off their entire business, and if we just close the tourist issue with crowd investing, then we will pay off the project. So all these new inputs, they change the situation a little bit. So everyone has a question. Even I have a question. When will the pre-start be over? They promised something like 2.5 million, then a million. Now they're silent. When we said 2.5 million, we understood roughly that this amount is necessary. The amount we'll collect. It will give us the opportunity to close all the issues and to function for some time. It will probably stay that way until that amount of money is raised. We're not leaving the pre-launch stage. And this is like a deadline for us to finalize all our issues and to broadcast to you and to the rest of the world our firm position. When is it going to happen? Very soon. According to the meter in the back office, we're close to $2 million. 500,000 are left. If you divide 2 million by the previous months, we understand on average what amount of money per month comes to the project. There is a little bit left before the stage changes. Employees are being added to the company. We already have over 30 people. Well, 34 or 35 in total. We are trimming down the administrative part a little bit. We're expanding the technical part. We have added electrical designers. Initially, we thought that the Moscow Aviation Institute would do that. And then when we began to talk to them, we realized that, well, the estimate it should be recalculated, and it's better to hire people ourselves. So we hire two specialists who will actually produce working design documentation related to all the electrics, power, and so on and so forth. A very serious question. We found two really great specialists, so they're also part of the staff now. There's two people that were added right before the new year. We got another very competent specialist in calculations. I'll tell you more about that. It is a 2,000 cubic meter airship. And there is a very big question concerning the propellers. What propellers will be used and where to get them? In fact, the airship is all good, wonderful, environmentally friendly, economical, and so on. But when the efficiency of the engine is 30%, then the efficiency of the transmission is also included there, and then the efficiency of the propeller is added, and they are not coordinated. The engine is for such and such propellers, and we need to lower the speed with the transmission, choose a different propeller, it's not coordinated. No one on the market has ever designed a propeller for this RPM, and the propeller just multiplies all the efficiency to zero. And a lot of airship pilots have argued that back in the days, and I do not know whether it is good or bad, but the fact that it is not that bad in terms of propellers in our country, and foreign ones, they don't give us much. So now we have just employed a very competent person for calculations for the propeller. It will be a screw in a ring. It will be made of particular materials. If you master the technological process, and most likely will, the process of designing and creating the screws, well, we deserve a monument for that. We're actively engaged in branding the company. We have a project called New Generation Airships. It is an investment project led by SOLARGROUP. And the marketing materials, which are now being developed and published everywhere on the internet, you see it in VK social network, on Telegram, and so on. All of that refers to the project and the activities of the company SOLARGROUP. And the production company, well, I call it that, not because it is called so, but just to separate it. And the process itself is called AERONOVA. And it will be branded, of course, in its own way. Soon there will be a company website. When? What does it mean soon? Can you remember when SOLMASH's website appeared? Well, anyway, we're already working on it. We're working on branding, we're working on meanings, and it is difficult. For example, because of the fact that quite a large number of SOLARGROUP employees participate in the life of AERONOVA. Ideologically, even in my head, well, separation of one and the other, well, it's hard, but we are trying. Well, soon in general, AERONOVA will acquire its brand, and it will probably become more clear to many people what is going on.